everyone, and welcome back to yet another book video. Today I am so excited because we are in the festive mood. We have our pumpkin pillow, so we have our pumpkin, we have our creepy candles, I have my sweater on, I have a cat, and we are going to go through my entire fall TBR. Now, I'm a very big mood reader, so during the fall, you'll see that there's not a lot of romance books in this huge pile that I have that I'm going to go through. I love romance books as much as the next person, but in the fall, my favorite thing to read about is fantasy books, slashers, mysteries, everything that goes with fall, Halloween, the cool weather. I love it. I'm so sick of the heat and I'm so ready to jump in the fall. I've been decorated for like 2 weeks now. I know that's against the rules to decorate for fall in August, but I do it because I like to be happy. So I'm going to go through my entire TBR for fall, and you get some good book recommendations for the fall for this video. Let's get into it. Okay, we are starting off very, very strong. If you don't live under a rock, you have heard about this series. I went to read the Natural series by Lynn Barnes. I have every single one bought already, but I've been waiting for the fall to read it. If you don't know what The Naturals is about, basically it's a YA kind of thriller crime novel. The FBI enlists these really, really smart teenagers who all have something special about them, and they enlist them to the FBI to help them solve crimes. There is 4 books. The last one includes a novella, so it's the 4th book, and then at the end there's a novella, so this one's a little bit thicker. Everyone loves this series. They are obsessed with the characters. They really get attached to it, and they say it's a very quick, easy read. Lynn Barnes chapters are like super short, and I love an author who writes short chapters. I love it. And then also, I don't have them bought yet, but I want to read The Inheritance Games, also by Lynn Barnes. I'm very excited to get into her writing and her books because people really, really love her, and I'm very excited to see if I think the same. So then I have bought The Hawthorne Brothers, which is actually a spin-off of The Inheritance Games, which I just found out as I was doing my research. So I need to buy The Inheritance Games before I even think about reading this. But if you don't know what this is about, it is about 2 brothers, Grayson and Jameson, and with the help of their brothers and the girl who inherited their grandfather's fortune, they must dig deep about who they want to be and what each of them will sacrifice to win. I also just love the last name Hawthorne. I always think that's I don't know, seems like a richy British name. But I also love Lynn Barnes covers. Something about it just draws you in and makes you want to read. Okay, also continuing very strong. I have the 1st and 2nd book of the series bought. Every time I go into Barnes & Noble, I buy the next one of the series. I know people love this book, and I have not started it yet because I'm scared. It is ACOTAR, Court of Thorns and Roses, and then I also have a Court of Mist and Fury. I can't tell you what this is about, and I'm not even going to try because I don't want to ruin anything for myself, so I have been trying. Anytime I see anything about it, I swipe on TikTok, I just ignore it, but I do plan to read the whole entire ACOTAR series this fall. Next, something I'm very, very excited for is the same author as A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It is 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. This is her new book, and I'm very, very excited because I loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I loved the 1st and 2nd. The 3rd one was okay, but the 1st and 2nd I think about all the time. Her writing is just very, very good and very, very easy. It is young adult. But basically, if you don't know what this is about, 6 friends go on an 8-hour road trip and only 5 of them end up surviving. The RV ends up breaking down in the middle of the road, and it's obviously not an accident, and they all are trying to figure out why they broke down, who made them break down, and who is the person in the group who is at the center of all of this. So I'm very excited to read this. I really, really recommend Holly Jackson's books if you haven't read them yet. Something else about me, something about fall just makes me want to read very sad books. I want to be in a fantasy world, I want to be in a sad world. Something about it, it's just something that, I'm a mood reader, and the weather, that's what makes me want to read. With that being said, If You Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin. I have heard many things about this. This is very popular on Book Talk right now, and I have yet to read it because I heard it literally rips you to shreds, and I had to wait for it to be at least 60 degrees to be able to enjoy that. So basically, Autumn and Finn used to be inseparable, but they aren't anymore, and Finn ends up becoming the it boy of school. But every time they cross paths, Autumn feels as if something should have happened to where they should have been together, and she realizes she might not get another chance to be with him until it's too late. And that's all I know about this because I don't want to ruin the ending, and I'm assuming it's a very, very sad ending, but I don't want to ruin it for myself. Next up, I have A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. I don't think this is super fall-y, but it is something I want to read this fall. Basically, a model student finds herself attracted to the bad boy of the school. And who doesn't love a nice little bad boy, good girl story, because I know I do. So I will be reading this fall. It is quite thick, and I hear mixed reviews on this. It is big, but also like the writing's pretty big in it. The text is pretty big, so hopefully I like this. Next, I have a Riley Sager book. This will be my first Riley Sager book. It is the only one left. And I actually went to Old Town Alexandria in Virginia this weekend, and they had only signed copies. So I have a signed copy of this book, which is really cool. But basically, Riley Sager is known for his thrillers, and he always leaves people like with their mouths open. So basically, in this book, a young caregiver is assigned to take care for a woman who was accused of a Lizzie Borden murder like years before. And if you don't know who Lizzie Borden is, look it up. It's a true crime fiasco, like crazy story. I don't want to get too much into it, but look it up. It's creepy, it's scary, it's gross. So yeah, first Riley Sager book. I am very excited. This one I'm actually very, very intrigued about, and I'm very excited to read. Personally, you can't see it, but I have like a huge Tragedies of Shakespeare book as decoration behind my bed, because I love Shakespeare. Don't ask me why, I don't know. The tragedies in Shakespeare, I really do enjoy them. And I found this book at the New Fiction in Barnes & Noble. It's called The 100 Loves of Juliet, and it is actually a modern day reimagining of Romeo and Juliet. So basically, whenever Helene was younger, she just always pictured and thought of amazing romances and her love story and what it's going to be like. But now she's older and she has completely let that go because she is currently going through a divorce. She's moved to Alaska and she is currently writing a novel whenever she meets Sebastian Montague. And if you know that last name from Romeo and Juliet, you'll know. But she actually created Sebastian in one of the books she was writing, I'm pretty sure, so she's trying to figure out how he can exist in the real world. So when she's trying to discover the truth about her existence, Sebastian is trying to keep it from her. And he's hiding a secret that has broken his heart time and time again. It becomes clear that it won't be easy to forge a new ending to the greatest love story of all time, Romeo and Juliet. So I am very intrigued about this. Next, we have Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. The only reason I have this on my TBR for this fall is because Destiny Sidwell actually recommended it for this fall, and I really want to get around to Ali Hazelwood books. I have this one, and The Love Hypothesis, and Love on the Brain Bot. So I want to start reading her books. She's very like woman in STEM writing, which I love. I love whenever like authors can incorporate a strong woman lead into the writing. So basically she's a physicist by day, and then she's an escort at night. I think that's it. She offers her services as a fake girlfriend. I think that would be what it is. But she starts to fake date the older brother of her favorite client. Jack Smith's older brother actually pays her, and Jack Smith happens to be the head of the physics department at MIT. So Ali Hazelwood's books I hear amazing things about, so I'm hopefully gonna get to this fall. Does anything else scream that I have a cat more than this? And I know I need to take my stickers off, I just hate doing it. Next, I have The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. If you don't know what this is about, basically every decade, 6 magicians are selected to have a place in the Alexandrian society. And in this world, it is a very, very secret society. Only 6 people every decade get to be invited to enter it. So basically, they have to fight for a spot in the society. And I heard a lot about Olivia Blake's writing. I don't really know much about her. I hear mixed reviews on her books, but hopefully this is a good fall read. Okay, next I've been putting this off because the books are so thick and I just don't know. I don't know. For me, I just don't get why a romance book has to be this thick. And the third book and final book of this series just came out. I have Things We Never Got Over and Things We Had from the Light by Lucy Score, and the third one just came out. It is the third and final book of the Knock 'Em Out series. I know people love these books, but something about a romance book being like this thick, I just like don't know. I'm like, is it really gonna like drag out? There has to be some exciting things in it. I don't know. I'm going to get to them this fall. These are the main romances that I am determined to read this fall. This one follows Knox and Naomi, and this one follows Nash and Lena? Yeah, but I don't need any more explanation. These books are so extremely popular. Has your hair ever just completely caught in your necklace? Oh my god, I'm gonna like rip my hair out. Okay, next getting into some of my witchy reads. I am going to do a week of reading witchy rom-coms, but I have The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. Basically, a small-town witch is forced to make magic with the man who broke her heart because whenever he returns to town, a set of supernatural disasters starts happening. I heard so much about this, and I'm very excited to get into my witchy rom-coms in October, and this is definitely on the list. The next one is also another witchy book I'm excited to read. It's called Enchanted to Meet You. Basically, in her teenage years, Jessica cast a spell that went absolutely wrong, and she kind of got in really big trouble by the disdain of witches. And then 15 years later, someone named Derek shows up to her little village in West Harbor and claims she is the chosen one. This cover is so cute, and like the concept of witchy rom-coms for fall and October is just so exciting, and I love that there's so many coming out right now. And yeah, I have another one that I am waiting on in the mail too. That one is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana, and I am very excited for that one as well. But I also have 2 more witchy books. This one is The Hexapil by Kate Johnson. Basically, she lives in a coven with a bunch of different witches, and I love this line. It says, including one who's still a bit salty about having been hanged in the 18th century. But then into this coven of chaos stumbles Josh, who is their clueless landlord, and he just discovered his tenants haven't paid rent since the 1700s. Essie is determined to keep him at broomstick length, that is until a family secret lying hidden for centuries puts Josh firmly under her spell. Like, come on, like, how, like, what, like, you can't get any more, like, twitches than that. Like, I love Halloween, I love fall so much. And then my mom actually got this at like Goodwill or something like that, but I saw it on a Barnes & Noble table the other day, and I know there's a sticker. Leave me alone. This one is A Discovery of Witches. It's book 1 of the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness. I don't know, this honestly seems really interesting. It says, deep in the heart of Oxford's library, Diana Bishop is a young scholar, and she's a descendant of witches. She basically unearths an enchanted manuscript, and she wants nothing to do with it, but her discovery set a fantastical underworld stirring, and soon a horde of demons, witches, and other creatures descends upon the library. And among them is Matthew, a vampire with a keen interest in the book. That actually sounds very good, and it says like it has a lot of history about witches and stuff, which I am actually very interested in. The Salem Witch House. I read The Crucible in high school, and I absolutely loved it, and I have just been drawn to that stuff ever since, and I love reading about it, and I'm very excited. And the last witchy rom-com I have is Small Town Big Magic by Hazel Beck. I'm very excited for this. Emerson has built the life of her dreams, and she is a successful indie bookstore owner, and she has her best friends as her found family, and then she ends up being attacked by these random creatures, and she kills them with what only can be called magic. And she actually finds out that she failed a test that wiped her memory of all of her magical witchy powers, and she finds out she's a witch, and all of her friends around her have been witches this whole entire time. And I want that to happen to me. I want to just wake up and something happened to me and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're a witch. Next up, I know these books are extremely popular, and I wanted to start them for the longest time now, but you're supposed to read the Caraval series before you start these. So I actually read Caraval, and I've read Legendary, and I'm actually on the last one now, which is Finale. Is it final or finale? I'm not sure. But then I went to read Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After. And I really don't want to read the backs of these because I don't want to ruin anything for me for the final book of Caraval. So I'm just going to let you know I want to read these. And the last 2 books I plan to read this fall is A Touch of Ruin and A Touch of Darkness. This is actually a Hades and Persephone story. Hades is the god of the underworld, and Persephone is the goddess of spring. So basically, Persephone moves, and she's hoping to just be disguised as a mortal journalist, but then she sits down in a forbidden nightclub and starts playing cards with someone. Hades, the god of the dead, actually built a gambling empire in the mortal world, and his favorite bets are rumored to be impossible, but nothing ever intrigued him as much as the goddess offering him a bargain he can't resist. So these are just a Hades and Persephone's retelling, I'm pretty sure, and I've never heard much about Scarlet St. Clair, but I am very excited. How many times did I say excited in this video? That is every single book on my fall TBR. I am so excited for fall and to read these. I love Halloween, I love spooky books, I love everything about this video. And yeah, I hope you guys found some recommendations for yourself this fall, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!